Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, the pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Friday Night Freak Show has begun. Countdown to kickoff is on, and we've got to be a meteorologist every bit as much as handicapper when breaking down these football games in the National Football League. Let's do this thing. We got a full house on the program. Steve Merrill's going to hop up and in. Cam Stewart will join us, of course. Rob Vino from Philadelphia. Rob Vino, the PA. In the house. Mick Aussie from an ice-cold Edmonton, Alberta. Tony Finn from Area 51. We've got a full house on the program tonight. It's been a wild week. It's been one of the craziest weeks off the field in the history of football. We've never had as many Hall of Fame coaches retire, get fired, transfer portal stuff going on. Alabama gets their guy. Kalen DeBoer leaves Washington. What a difference a couple of weeks could make, huh? Like, think about it. It was just like 2 Mondays ago that Nick Saban was coaching Alabama going into overtime against Michigan. He's gone. Then Michigan played against the Washington Huskies. It feels like it was forever ago, but it was only a couple of days ago. Kalen DeBoer's gone. Like, can Michigan have caused any more destruction along the way? Let me see, Penn State's offensive coordinator got fired. Ryan Day's on the hot seat. Saban retired. DeBoer left Washington. I think there's a lot of people who are glad they're not going to be playing Michigan because, bad things happen to your program after you play. So, Kalen DeBoer. That's the thing with college football and stuff. Listen, it's pro sports right now, but this is like the Wild West. It's to the point right now where pro sports teams and athletes are going to be jealous of college because they can just bolt every year. Can you imagine actually Kevin Durant kind of does this, doesn't he? All right. So let's get to some picks right now. Sacramento Kings got drilled by the Sixers 112-93. They actually won without a beat, 112-93. But I've got a parlay that I just put in here, and we're mixing. We're going to mix things up a little bit. Shout out to everyone joining us on Sirius XM channel 159. You're going to get our first play of the night here tonight. We've got some National Lacrosse League action going on over at Mandalay Bay tonight as Las Vegas hosts San Diego. San Diego are one of the better teams in the National Lacrosse League. They're minus 400 on the money line, minus 3.5 as far as the goals are concerned. We played a parlay with the San Diego Seals and the Nevada Wolfpack college basketball money line. So we need Nevada to beat Boise State, and we need San Diego to beat Las Vegas in lacrosse. And this is a good basketball game. It's a fun college basketball game that we have coming up here tonight. Nevada have been unreal. They've been smoking hot, this team. Nevada. They're covering the number. They're 11-4 against the spread on the season. Nevada just aren't winning games. They're winning convincingly. They're smoking teams. Boise State playing good basketball right now as well. They've been covering. They've been winning games. Nevada are 6.5-point favorites. The total is 139.5. So as I stated, I put Nevada in a moneyline parlay already with San Diego National Lacrosse League. So if you want to join me for in some DGen action tonight, hop in. That game is starting right now. Boise State and Nevada go off the board in about 25 minutes time. We'll get Steve Merrill's take on this game. So as I stated, Nevada minus 6.5-point favorites. Total 139.5. NBA basketball. There's some good, some bad. I got to stop betting on bad teams like the Chicago Bulls. I don't really do it very often. I pulled the trigger with the Bulls tonight. They were up. They were down. I guess this is what Bull fan gets for booing Jerry Krause's wife tonight. I guess they were honoring the Bulls. And, that's even worse that they lost or they're about to lose. Whatever. It's 116-103. There's 9 minutes left in the game. But for the Warriors, they honored the great Bulls teams. I didn't fully see it. Whatever. You can honor all you want. You guys suck now. Sort of like the Montreal Canadiens. You're living in the past, man. But so I saw the video, though. Jerry Krause passed away. His wife was there representing him, and the fans booed her. Listen, man. I understand you paid your money, you know, and all that type of stuff. And you know what? You don't like Jerry Krause because he won so much? Should he have broken the team up? No. But at the same point in time, you know, to boo his wife, to boo a dead man's wife, that's something like Philadelphia would do. So, congratulations, Chicago. You've pretty much become Philadelphia right now, right? Congratulations. Like, come on. I wouldn't even do that. There's a lot of people in sports that I don't like, right? You know what I mean? I don't like, put it this way, I don't like Jeffrey Loria. I don't like David Sampson or Jeffrey Loria. If they died, I wouldn't boo their wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a bridge too far, isn't it? Am I soft? Maybe I'm soft. People say, "Oh, Morency's gone soft. He's woke." I guess if not booing a dead guy's wife is woke, then I guess I'm woke. Because I don't think you should be booing a dead guy's wife. like when I saw that, I'm like, God, you guys, like, really? Like, none of you even know what the hell happened anyways. You just saw the damn Last Dance, right? Like, that's cold, though, man. I got to tell you. Like I said, I expect that from Philadelphia, not from Chicago. Come on, man. Maybe the Bulls could come back. It's 116-1 away. Maybe we can will this to victory. The Denver Nuggets and the Pelicans are playing. I see 5.5 here right now, 229.5 in this basketball game. Should be a pretty entertaining game. Should be some points scored in this basketball game. National television game. Pelicans are playing good basketball. And if you remember, I actually picked the Pelicans to win the Western Conference this year. Not really thinking that they would, right? But at 30-1, it was a pretty big price for a team that can cause you problems, right? That's the thing with the Pelicans. Like, the Pelicans can score, right? So, like, they're not an easy team to deal with, especially when they're healthy. The Pelicans are coming in off a couple of wins. They smoked Sacramento on the road, 133-100, and they smoked Golden State, 141-105. So they're coming in feeling pretty good about themselves right now. Meanwhile, the Denver Nuggets sort of winning games, losing games, sort of going back and forth right now. I think we have a live dog tonight with the Pelicans, and let's play the over in this basketball game. Listen, the Denver Nuggets are a great team. I have a lot of respect for them, but when you're the champion, like, we talk about it. Like, sometimes you don't even have to be the champion. Like the Dallas Cowboys, teams get fired up to play them. All right? The LA Lakers, teams get fired up to play them. The Toronto Maple Leafs. The Leafs are always going to get the other team's best shot because they're the Leafs. And once you're the champs, you're going to get other team's best shot. And Denver's dealing with this right now. Denver are great. It's all about their level of interest. They're also playing good basketball. They're 26-13 on the season. They've won 7 of their last 10 games. But I think we got a live dog tonight. Fun basketball game. Let's take the points. Let's go over the number. Let's see what our guests have to say on the other side about all this and more. This is Sports Rage. Bring it.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev.
Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
Right now, he's a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division favorite.
I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6 and the 7 seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about two franchises going in the wrong directions? The Eagles, ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
It's a lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, a Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And I tell you what, there's 1,000,001 coaching vacancies right now. Brady Cannon is a candidate for the Vegas Raider job. Like there's so many jobs available right now. NFL teams are coming to the grid for our talent. So there's that many head coaching spots available right now. I'm going to submit my resume.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Thank you. I appreciate this. You want you one of these?
I'm good, KG.
You want your ginger shot?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
I need some positivity today. I'm trying to cover this spread, and your vibe is off, G.
What's wrong with my vibe?
You got to get you one of these, G. Get to sip some of this positivity in your life, and boom! You see that? Spread's covered. Thank you, Mama. In a minute, G. Ha ha!
Let's roll. This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency. Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio and Television Networks. We have not started the Pelicans and Nuggets game yet. Zion Williamson ready to go, averaging 21.7 this year, which is 12th in the NBA. 5.9 rebounds, 58% from the field. He gets criticized a lot, but he's been on the court for the most part so far this year. And as we stated, the Pelicans are a dangerous basketball team. So they've got their full lineup tonight, starting lineup, C.J. McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, Zion Williamson, and our guy, Jonas Valanciunas, against Jamal Murray, Caldwell Pope, Porter Jr., Gordon, and Jokic. So both teams are locked and loaded and ready to go. Let's bring in the Rage Red Cam Stewart. Cam, I'm taking the Pelicans plus the points against my better judgment, and I'm going to bet the over of this basketball game. What do you have for this game? There's our boy Rocky, the mascot, highest paid mascot in sports.
Well, you know what? Rocky deserves it. He does a lot of stunts and stuff like that. It's not easy doing it in those costumes.
$600K a year, bro.
Too. Yeah, hey, man. Hey, Gabe, he does like coming down from like wires and stuff. Like saw that one mascot too. That's the thing. If you're risking your life, $600K
so does that Jaguar
fine.
Mascot. I don't know what they pay him, man. That guy's bungee jumping. I would never do that, bro. I'm not bungee jumping from the scoreboard. Not for $200 a night. Like,
exactly. Imagine that.
Like,
hey, Jaguar, here's your $300.
Like,
I'd be like, no.
I'm like, listen,
zeros.
I want like the Denver Nugget deal here. Like, you got to pay me like $500K a year, and I'll jump off like 10 times or something a year. Like, seriously, imagine you show up as a mascot, like just as hum-da-dum, like, you think you would take some pictures with some kids, and they're like, you need to like bungee jump off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for that. Yeah, like Clam Chowder, he's a mascot. He doesn't do like crazy tricks and do flips. Yeah, that's the thing. You can't be flipping off scoreboards or whatever. I'm going to ride the Pelicans with you, Morency, just waiting on some late golf. By the way, I found a new way to bet this stuff, Gabe. I do a new bet each round leader now instead, because, first round leader, they offered that on the books that we're on, who will lead at the second round. And the problem is there's 8 guys leader, tied. Yeah, each round leader. I got Ben on at 45-1. The problem is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other guys. And my Stuart Sick pick, he's in second place at 200-1, the old man. So we got the leaderboard covered. Me and Brady's picks, so far so good, Gabe. A lot of our guys made the cut, and they're in contention. I'm on the
That'd be pretty cool if you were able to hit the first round leader, second round leader, third round leader, like all the way through.
Winner. Yeah, the winner's the more important. Fourth round leader. That's the one I need,
Well, no,
buddy.
really. If you're hitting 45-1s and stuff like that with the daily leaders, they can really add up. So we've got the NBA game going on. Countdown to tip-off is on right now. College basketball. I brought this up off the top. I played a money line parlay. The National Lacrosse season, of course, has begun. And, in fact, I was offered tickets for free to tomorrow night's Calgary and Vancouver game. Ooh. But I'm doing a show with Scott Farrell Sunday morning, and it's probably not the best idea that I go to a lacrosse game on the Saturday night since I work Sunday morning.
I'll tell you this, too, Morency. You can't leave that arena without, like, getting out. They play metal. The drinks will flow. Like, lacrosse crowd is party
ground. Can't go to a lacrosse game and just drink Pepsi and eat popcorn. I'm going to sit there.
No, you can't.
You go to some things, especially like lacrosse is like,
no, people don't get
mandatory that you drink. Like, it's must, like, you have to drink.
Yeah, like the guy beside you will be like,
they play music the whole time. It's just dum. Everyone's fighting. It's like they're fighting and hitting each other.
Drinking soda.
They're playing Blink 182 and Metallica and stuff. Like, what's my age again? They go from like metal to pop, Taylor Swift, and then there's like Metallica. Dun. Yeah, it's crazy. The National Lacrosse League. I find it annoying on TV, and I actually told people associated with the league. I said, I get it. It's fun. I said, but it gives me a headache when I watch on TV. You guys got to figure out like sort of a balance. And I basically was telling them, don't pick up the music so much from the arena, right? Like because the arena's playing the music. That's their thing. It's in like, for people who don't know, it's mandatory. Like during the lacrosse games, they play music the entire game during the game. Except on TV, it can get very loud. Right? You can't really hear the announcers and stuff. They've done a much better job, Cam, now this year. I was tuning into some games. You can hear the broadcasters, the music sort of in the background. Little things like that, you know, I mean, you got to realize, don't put the mic so close to the damn speaker, man.
You're right.
You know, I'm in the music business. Like, back it off, bro. It's too loud. Right? You got to chill us out. But it's is fun lacrosse games. Everyone that goes loves it. They have a great time. It's only like $20 to get in.
Yeah, like it's the best bang for your buck, Gabe. Remember when I worked at Shoeless, they had a deal with the Toronto Rock. So I actually went to games that year, and I had more fun at the lacrosse than the Leafs game. It was cheaper, the booze is flowing, the people that you sit beside are cool. So you know what it is, Gabe? It's like a party atmosphere. There's no stiffs. Everyone's into it. They're like, you meet people that are like really having a good time. Go to a Leaf game, guys are doing their taxes. Yeah, business charting. Yeah, how's that roast beef sandwich? Like, it's just, you get in a bad area there. It's like, this is like a funeral. But anyway, I'm with you. That sounds like fun. But I know one thing, at a lacrosse game, you can't go dry. You need to drink. So good decision by you.
So there's a lacrosse game going on. This is my money line parlay. I took the San Diego Seals to beat the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. Wow. The game is in Las Vegas. The game's at Mandalay Bay tonight. They're not very good, Las Vegas. They were an expansion team last year. They're kind of struggling. San Diego are good. San Diego made it to the championship 2 years ago. The San Diego Seals are actually owned by Joseph Tsai, the same guy that owns the Brooklyn Nets. All these sports guys, they own everything. So, yeah, the guy that owns the Brooklyn Nets actually owns the San Diego Seals. The Las Vegas Desert Dogs are owned by Cam's boy, Dustin Johnson, and Wayne Gretzky.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The Las Vegas Desert Dog lacrosse team is a consortium of sports celebrities that own the team. It's Serena Williams, Wayne Gretzky, Dustin Johnson, Steve Nash.
Wow.
It's a bunch of you know what I mean? A bunch of people. I think the Raiders own a piece of it too. I think Davis owns a piece of it. But yeah, it's a big celebrity thing. You figure it's not easy though, Cam, right? Any league, bro. Like you said, the Toronto Rock are an established team. The Buffalo Bandits, bro, those guys are good. They've been doing this for a long time. You can't just roll into the league and start beating these teams.
For sure. Colorado Mammoth. there's certain teams in that league that they're like
good
state.
too.
They're always good. Yeah, the Mammoth are always good. Bandits are always good. The Rock are usually very, very good. You know what, Gabe? Calgary had a good little run. I don't know how's the Vancouver team doing? I haven't really kept up with the cross or whatever.
They suck.
They're bad? Yeah. It'll take a while. It's going to take a while. That's the thing.
No, they're the worst team in the league every year. It's frustrating. They're bad. They're owned by the
So they're putting all their money into hockey, not lacrosse.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that. Now that the Canucks are good, Aquilini, what I mean? Why don't you take a look at the lacrosse team now and say, all right, listen, we've had enough of this. Yeah, no, it's bad. Like, I know people that go and they just tell me it's great. They have a great time and you bet against them.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, they're Vancouver Warriors. That's their name. Vancouver Warriors.
Lame. That's lame. You can do better than that.
I know.
That's so wrong. Like you Colorado Mammoth. That's a team name. Seals is interesting.
And I got to be honest.
Warriors.
I like to support them. The problem is too, their colors, Cam, their jersey, it looks like the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Like it's black with the gold, and it says W. It's like you when you look at it, you think it's Vegas Golden Knights at first. You're like, and then you do a double take and you see it's a W, and no. And there's no black and gold in Vancouver, Cam. The BC Lions are orange. The Canucks are flashy, bright color. Like, why would you go with this modern, lame black and gold crap, bro?
I know you're busy, Morency.
Just do like the Canucks.
For a boardroom meeting.
Like a Canuck-looking jersey for lacrosse.
They need to be spoken to. Your team name sucks. Your uniform sucks. Get in there. Be better.
Suck. Buffalo Bandits. That's a name.
Warriors. Yeah, Buffalo Bandits. Like it just rolls off the tongue. Vancouver Warriors? That's weak. That's so bad.
Told you, it's weak. It sucks.
F-.
So I don't wear their gear.
Exactly. Oh, we just ripped them a new one there. That's a horrible name. Yeah. You got
quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
So right now, we saw a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I don't care if they win, because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6 and the 7 seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about two franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles. Ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's a lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, a Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
And I tell you what, there's 1,000,001 coaching vacancies right now. Brady Cannon is a candidate for the Vegas Raider job. Like there's so many jobs available right now. NFL teams are coming to the grid for our talent. So there's that many head coaching spots available right now. I'm going to submit my resume.
SportsRage Late Night. Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I am Morency, 18-17 for the Pelicans right now. We're waiting on Steve Merrill. There was a miscommunication. He'll be joining us in a couple of moments. I want to get his take on this Nevada-Boise State game that's going off the board in a couple of minutes. Fun game tonight on the college hardwood. If you look at this Nevada team, they kind of fly under the radar, playing up there in Reno, but they're really balling this year. Every couple of years, Nevada are really good. And it looks like this is one of these years. They're 15-1 straight up on the season, 9-0 at home. And then, okay, are they winning games? Are they covering point spreads? Yes, they are. They're 11-4 against the spread on the season. So it's pretty impressive. 15-1 straight up, 11-4 ATS on the season. You look at their wins, and they're not just like winning. They're winning convincingly. Like they beat Air Force 67-54. That was a home game. They went to Fresno. They beat them 72-57. They went to Georgia Tech camp. They played at Georgia Tech. They beat them 72-64. They beat TCU this year. They beat Temple this year. They beat Hawaii this year. Like they've beaten some good teams. Like they've been on the warpath. I said at Georgia Tech, that game was actually in Hawaii. I remember that game. That was part of one of those Christmas tournaments. They ran the table. Like they're a damn good basketball team. But Boise have been playing well as well.
Yes.
So, like, Boise are coming in hot right now. Boise have won 8 of their last 9 games outright, coming off a nice win, Cam, against a pretty good Colorado State team, right? 65-58. Yep. But you notice that was a 7-point game. So you notice here in this conference, when the teams win, they win. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not a lot of like, oh, yeah, they won by 2, they won by 3. It's like, no, they won by 8, they won by 10. Let's bring Steve Merrill in right now as we're moments away from tip-off. Steve, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Steve.
What's up, boys? Good to see you all. Happy Friday.
I understand there was a miscommunication. And,
well, I will say this.
We were about to criticize you and throw you under the bus, but then we found out it was our guy Tommy. It's Tommy's fault.
Tommy. That's right. Cam tried to do that last Saturday, and he found out that doesn't work well. I called him out right away.
Well,
I'm on 7:25. I log it at 7:23, and I come in. He's like, "Yeah, Merrill show. Merrill never doesn't show. I don't know. Merrill might." I was like, "Cam, when have I not shown in like 15 years?" Yeah. Gabe knows me as well.
Merrill.
I'm on, man. I don't think I've ever missed this appointment ever in like 20 years.
Well, I trusted you, Steve. I was just said, "Hey, your Merrill's usually on time." It was just one of those, you were in the green room. Yeah, I didn't sell you down the river.
So, what do you think, Steve, of Nevada, Boise State? I was just saying, Nevada's super impressive. Like, they've beaten some really good teams this year. They have some quality wins. It's not easy to be 15-1 and 11-4 against the spread as well. So they're not just winning, they're covering numbers. And I was going over their wins. They win pretty convincingly, right? And then I was going over Boise State's wins, Steve, and so do they. So I was just sort of coming to the conclusion, points don't really seem to matter. Like, if the team is going to win, they're going to win the basketball game in the Mountain West. What's your take on this one tonight?
Yeah, I actually broke this game down on Wager Talk TV earlier today on the college show. It's the late night game, tips off here in a couple minutes. I like Nevada -6. The line has been 6 all day long. We're starting to see some 6.5s now. Total was 140. It's down to 139, but they don't have their normal altitude edge, but I think they're the better overall team. And the one thing that jumps out to me, Gabe, 2 good defensive teams, but Nevada's better offensively. 73% also from the free throw line. And, in a 5-6 point range like this down the stretch, that can make a difference as well to get the cover.
And one thing as well, guys, Boise haven't played a lot of road games yet this year, just 2 road games. So, yeah, they're 11-4. This is a tough spot, a tough venue to play at. As Steve mentioned, there is the altitude, although Boise will deal with it. I like the over, guys. I pulled the trigger on the over. I'm taking Nevada as well. I played Nevada. You're going to like this, Steve. I played a Nevada-San Diego Seal moneyline parlay, little National Lacrosse League action. But I'm going to lay the points with Nevada as well. And I'm going to play the over.
I was going to say, what the hell is a San Diego Seal?
It's a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, exactly.
I had no clue what sport that was.
I figured you were like San Diego SEALs. Yeah.
It's a good line though, Morency, right? It's 6.5. Like, Boise State, you said, though, look at Boise State. They beat Colorado State. This is a very, very under-the-radar basketball game. Both of these clubs are hotter than that. Like, they're both. Hey, if you got like a 7, I'm going to consider taking the Broncos, but you guys are right about Nevada. They're a good basketball team, and they're the home team in this matchup, but should be a great one.
And I think also for people, if you want to get a head start on, and if you like any of these NFL games, I don't have a problem with putting Nevada in a money line parlay with one of the NFL teams. But as long as we're talking college basketball, Steve, right now, let me throw some of these games at you that are coming up. That are coming up on Saturday. Let's start off actually with Oklahoma and Kansas. You know what I saw? This is crazy about the Kansas Jayhawks, guys. They've only lost consecutive games 5 times since 2013.
Wow. That's nuts.
You believe that? And they're coming off a loss, Cam. They lost to Central Florida. They got upset the other night.
Yeah.
You believe that, Steve? Only 5 times have they lost consecutive games since the 2013 season.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it makes sense because one of my favorite angles in college and pro basketball is a Class A team off a loss because you're getting a good quality team in a focused spot. So I think it makes a lot of sense. They're about, a 7-point favorite at Central Florida the other night. So that wasn't a great loss, but it was a tough venue. And it's hard not to imagine they won't bounce back strong tomorrow.
Yeah, getting the Oklahoma Sooners. But, Cam, I watched Kansas last week against TCU. They were lucky to escape that game, actually. Kansas have had some close calls. I'll just tell everybody right now, Kansas are not playing their best basketball right now. They're still elite. They're great. They're a national championship threat, but be careful with the point spreads. Like they're not blowing teams out right now. Another big-time game here, guys. Kentucky and Texas A&M, Steve. Texas A&M like to, cause havoc and create turnovers. Kentucky have really taken care of the basketball a lot this year. This is a good Kentucky team. They're getting 2 points on the road. Texas A&M 2-point road home favorites. The total pretty high for an A&M game, 154.5. What's your take on this one?
Yeah, I don't have the rankings in front of me. I'm going to pull them up real fast because I don't think Texas A&M is a top 25 team, but they're favored in this now, right? And that's an angle I love to use, guys, in January and February. And it worked so well last year is to play these home favorites against supposedly the better team. And, A&M wins this game as I think they will. They'll go off as a favorite. All the pundits will say it's an upset when it's really not. So it's an angle that's worked really well, something to keep an eye on the next couple months.
And, guys, there's been serious upsets this week as well as far as some of these ranked teams are concerned. Here's a game flying under the radar, Steve, but I know you cover every team and you cap every team, but the total's kind of high here, but 2 incredibly efficient offenses. Belmont and Indiana State, bro. Belmont and Indiana State going head-to-head here. What is it, 164.5? Yeah, 164.5. When I saw the game, Cam, right away, the first thing I thought, I was like, oh, this is a fun game on a Saturday, sort of the mid-major under the bubble teams, under the radar teams. I was like, this is going to be a track meet. But 164.5, Steve, what's your take on this? And Indiana State laying 12 points. It seems like a lot.
Yeah, these are 2 very fast teams. Belmont's like top 60. Indiana State's like top 35 in tempo for the entire season. So it'll be a track meet. 2 really good offensive teams, mediocre defenses, but Indiana State's like a top 40 offensive team efficiency-wise this year. That's why they're 13-3. And obviously a higher scoring game, Gabe, it enables the team to win by margin more. So that big spread might be warranted. But, yeah, the over is hard to pass up. And as you and I know, high totals usually go over, and this is a high one for a good reason.
Hey, guys, take a look at this game at 4 o'clock under the radar, too, Steve. Kansas State, they're a 12-3 team. Texas Tech, 13-2. K-State, they're perfect on the road. They won both their road games, and the Red Raiders haven't lost at home, Steve. They're laying 7.5 total, 140.5. That is a very underrated game. Any leans there?
Yeah, something's got to give, right? Because normally you see home court advantage this time of year when you have a 9-0 team. But like you said, K-State's 4-2 away this season, 8-1 at home. They don't shoot the 3 well, though, and I think that's going to be the Achilles heel. They're shooting only about 30.5% from beyond the arc, only 28% away from home. And you contrast that to a Texas Tech team that's hitting 37%. And as we know, 3-point shooting is a great random variance in college basketball, but I'm always hesitant to back a road team in a hostile environment when they don't shoot the 3 well. So I think Texas Tech's probably the play in this game.
Steve, what do you think of St. John's and Creighton? Creighton are laying 7.5 in this game. St. John's playing good basketball under Pitino right now. They come in smoking hot. They've won 4 straight, 6 of their last 7. They beat Butler. They beat Villanova. They beat Providence. Now they're getting 7.5 points. Tough place to play going up there to Nebraska. But at the same point in time, this spread feels a little bit high to me. How high are you? Are Creighton that good that they should be laying 7.5 points in this game? What's your take on this one?
Yeah, so right now, if you look at the Ken Palms, Creighton's the 13th ranked team, but they're 16th offense and 16th defensive efficiency. So they're one of the most balanced attacks in college basketball. So I do think they're really that good. They play slow half-court basketball, though, so we'll see if St. John's is comfortable in that style. They're one of the faster teams in the country. I think Creighton at home is going to slow this down and frustrate the Johnnies in the half court.
What about Xavier and Providence? Is this a trap here with Providence? The number feels light and low. Xavier struggling this year.
Yeah, a lot of times, we saw that with the Patriots. I'm not saying Xavier is the New England Patriots, but, the Patriots got really bad fast after being a monster franchise for decades. And I think sometimes that happens in college basketball. This is a Xavier squad that's just 7-8 on the season after being a perennial, tournament caliber team. They're just 1-4 away from home. And another team that does not shoot the ball well, 28% shooting from three on the road, 40.5% from the field. I don't like backing bad shooting teams on the road. Xavier's a fade right now.
And guys, Providence is one of the toughest places to play.
I like big time. Yeah,
there are a bunch of rowdies down there. Is that the Dunkin' Donut Center?
Yeah.
That's the best name. Is it still? Because that's the best name, Cam, for a basketball arena.
Oh,
Dunkin'. Dunkin'
Donut. It writes itself. Good corporate sponsorship.
Yeah.
I like that.
Please
one.
tell me it's the Dunkin' Donuts Center.
I better still be the same. It used to be.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
Right now, he's a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division
I
favorite.
don't care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby. The money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6th and the 7th seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about two franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles. Ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's a lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, a Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
And I tell you what, there's 1,000,001 coaching vacancies right now. Brady Cannon is a candidate for the Vegas Raider job. Like there's so many jobs available right now. NFL teams are coming to the grid for our talent. So there's that many head coaching spots available right now. I'm going to submit my resume.
SportsRage Late Night. Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the game starts so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I am Morency. We got Mick Aussie coming up. We'll put Mick on hold for a couple of minutes. We just talked college football. Just quickly, Steve, what a crazy week as far as coaching is concerned, huh? Like, it's impossible to keep up almost. But think about this, though. I was at the Rose Bowl last week, so I'm at the game. Michigan versus Alabama. Harbaugh versus Saban. Saban's gone. So I can actually say I was at Nick Saban's last ever game, which is pretty
amazing.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty crazy, Cam. I was actually at Nick Saban's last ever game because he's not coaching again. He's retired for real.
I agree.
So,
will it be Harbaugh's second to last game?
Well, and it's crazy though. Then Harbaugh faces Kalen DeBoer, and DeBoer's not with Washington anymore. Both coaches that Michigan beat in the playoffs are gone. That's crazy.
That's crazy. And DeBoer did a hell of a job. I mean, that team vastly overachieved, obviously. So I give him more credit than anybody, to be honest.
You like the hire for Bama? You think they got it right? Because like you said, this guy, dude, he lost 3 games at Washington in 2 years. He won 67-3 or whatever, 64-3 with Sioux Falls. He's won everywhere he's been, Steve. It's hard to argue his success. Do you like the hire for Bama?
Yeah, because they have the talent there still, right? And what you got to worry about is them losing that talent with this transfer portal now that Saban's gone and they can recruit. So I think it's a slam dunk because the guy's probably as good of any coach in college football. Because like you said, Gabe, he's won at every level. And he took a Washington team that was, maybe 4-8 a couple years ago when he took over. And they went 14-0 till the national title loss. So I didn't see it coming, but I think it's a great move for Alabama. And it keeps them as a powerhouse still.
It's a good point you raised. There's a new, and I'm not an expert at transfer portal. This stuff's annoying, but I know that starting next Wednesday, there's a new portal that opens, like for 30 days or something. Alabama needed to get their coach. Yeah, it's like the Fansville Dr. Pepper camp. Like there's actually a hole in the sky. You get
there's a new portal.
It's like Star Trek. There's a portal.
Is this Doctor? Yeah, what are we doing? Doctor Who? Yeah. You're like, there's a new portal. I'm like, are we doing a science fiction show?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
There's a portal opening on Wednesday. You can jump in. You know what I mean?
What planet are we going to enter the portal? Yeah, it's okay, thanks.
No, so if you're Alabama, you needed to get a coach fast this weekend. Because you need to tell the kids, listen, don't go. And honestly, Steve, think about it. If you went to play for Saban, so this is a big sort of shock for you right now, right? You signed up to play for Nick Saban. But if you're an offensive player, Kalen DeBoer, you're going to shine more. Saban's more conservative. DeBoer can tell Jalen Milroe, look what I just did to Michael Penix. Like, don't worry, kid, that Nick isn't here. You're going to throw the ball more now, Jalen. You're going to throw the ball now more. You're going to tell the wide receivers, you guys are going to catch 100 passes. Look at what Ndouze did to my offense, right? So the offensive guys, I don't think will bolt. And I say that, and Isaiah Bond, the wide receiver, is the first one to bolt today. He announced I'm leaving on Wednesday. But with that being stated, don't you agree, Steve? Like, and Cam, if you're an offensive guy, you got to like the ball coming to Bama. You'd think, I'm going to get touches now.
Big time. I can't believe 2 of the 4 coaches left in the Final Four were Washington, too, right? Gabe with Steve Sarkisian was a former Husky coach. So that program, that school, DeBoer did some amazing things. I don't know what Washington's going to do to replace him. This guy, in my opinion, and Arizona's coach were like 2 of the best coaches of the year this year, both from the Pac-12. They did great jobs.
Washington might go after Fish for all we know from Arizona now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Listen, you just said it. They didn't get it right with the Lake guy. Was it Jimmy Lake? But for the most part, like you said, Sarkisian, they're pretty good at hiring coaches in Washington. But Washington got hit hard. All right. It's already been announced. Like, everyone's leaving now from Washington. They're not waiting. Like, they're like, we're out. And by the way, you're going to the Big Ten now. So you don't have a coach. You just lost all your players. You're going to the Big Ten next year. I was worried about that championship rematch, but I think Michigan will beat them again on October 5th. But who knows what'll happen with Harbaugh.
Oh, yeah. That's not the same matchup anymore. That's
exactly,
a totally different
Steve.
matchup now.
I thought, I'm like, I don't have to fear this anymore. We're going to go in there and we're going to beat them.
I agree. How many of those guys go to Bama that leave Washington? That's something else to keep in mind. They can go to Bama now.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah.
And the other thing is Deion Sanders is coming. Deion Sanders put it out there, Colorado, to all the Alabama kids. We have money and we have starting positions.
I saw a season win total.
Want.
One of the offshores, Gabe, has it up as of last week. Over under for Colorado wins. What do you think it is right now? It's a bettable line for their season win total.
So last year was 3.5. What do they make it? 5.5.
6.5.
Yeah, I think it's 6 to the over, I think, but it was 6.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 and 6.
But they're going into the Big 12
And you see
now.
that, you're like, oh,
They're
they're
going
going to be
into the
better.
Big
But
12.
they were so bad on the line of scrimmage. I don't know if you can fix that in just 1 year, you know? And the skill guys, or some of them are gone, I think.
They're going into the Big 12. So, but the Big 12 loses Texas and Oklahoma, but who do they
I
get?
said the Big 12 will be weaker.
I was going to win the Big 12 game. Kansas State, that quarterback, that guy with the red locks, whatever, that rookie, that guy's amazing, man. If they have and their offensive line is good.
Arizona and Utah. Arizona and Utah are going to the Big 12. That's it.
Man,
Utah next year in the Big 12 is going to be
USC,
interesting.
man, USC's quarterback puts up 6 touchdowns. We were doing that show a couple Fridays ago. Remember when he did that?
Yeah.
Looks
Dude,
like
USC are going to get murdered in the Big 10, bro. I give Lincoln Riley 2 years. He's done. He's going to get fired. He's going to get killed.
It's going to be a bloodbath. Good luck. Enjoy your move, guys. Yeah,
you just saw the best the Pac-12 had to offer in Washington against the best the Big 10 had to offer, and it was a 21-point beatdown.
You're damn right.
Let's just be real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so we
and
can
they
talk
ran
about
over
this all
200
night.
and some yards on the ground, and that was the thing. As I said to you guys, I thought that was the big edge Michigan had was in the run D, and on the line of scrimmage. And I just don't think the Pac-12 plays that way. Still, you know, it's a flashy offensive conference, and USC was terrible on defense, and I don't think they've gotten any better.
2 quick things, and we'll get to the NFL games. Your commander, Steve, Washington football team, the Redskins, and everything else in between. Maybe it's Harbaugh. Like, I got a feeling like Washington have money. You have the 2nd pick in the draft.
Wow.
Well, look, his brother lives in Baltimore. He can hang out with his brother, be close in the area. They wouldn't be in the same conference. He could build up Washington back to greatness, a great historical franchise. He has the 2nd pick in the draft. I don't think people would love it that they took J.J. McCarthy that high, but he could come in and get his quarterback, right? But that's the way it would go, right? He's going to want his guy to come in here. And then you got the Raiders. But I'll tell you what, guys, if as a betting man, I say Harbaugh sees the window open right now in college. Nick Saban just retired. He becomes like the face of college football. He's like, no one's bigger than him. Michigan had the 3 highest rated TV games this year. So he becomes the face of college football, makes a ton of money, becomes a hero at Michigan. It's a 12-team playoff next year. They're going to make the playoffs next year again, Michigan. So I'm not sure he actually leaves, to be honest. Like, you know what? I think he might actually stay at Michigan now.
Makes sense.
The only reason he might leave, guys, is because of the controversy, the suspensions and stuff. Otherwise, why in the world would you leave? Look, Nick Saban tried the same thing with the Dolphins or whatever. He came right back. And had a dynasty.
Yeah, but Harbaugh was successful in the NFL already. Saban was.
That's the thing, but he's already done that, Gabe. So, like, why would you want that extra stress level? And it's just, you've got a cake job the rest of your life now, basically, at Michigan. And it's his alma mater, like you said. And the playoff. I think the playoff's a good point. It's a lot easier to make the postseason now in college football.
Yeah, he's going to get in, right? 12 teams. The one thing, and it's true, people keep bringing it up, well, you know, the NCAA, as long as we'll get suspended and all this. Yeah, but knowing Harbaugh the way I do, Harbaugh is not the type of guy, Cam, that's going to change his life because of the NCAA. He's going to say, F these guys. Like, I'll take them to court, like, whatever, and like, okay.
This year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, does he seem the type of go, I'm scared of the NCAA. I'm going to go to the NFL. I don't think he's scared of the NCAA.
Anything he'll say just to stick it to him.
Yeah, he's like, bring it on.
And remember, Michigan had his back and said, we'll sue everybody that you mess with us. We'll leave the Big Ten. Like, they were all like,
sue me, sue you, sue everyone.
Exactly. You sue us, we'll sue you. Exactly.
Yeah, exact.
Well,
don't sue me, Cam. Harbaugh's not the type of guy to cower from the NCAA. No, that's what I'm saying.
No. He's like, bring it on, man. He's tough.
My point was on if it's too much of a headache, does it become too much of a headache for him to deal with it and all the BS, then maybe I could see him leaving. But otherwise, I don't see it happening.
What are they really going to do? They're going to spend him 6 games or something, and then whatever. He gets paid $15 million a year not to coach for half the year.
Like you said, Gabe, I mean, he got suspended 2 different times this season. They won the national championship. I don't, can't get much worse than that.
I'm scared.
Like at this point, it's like whatever, man.
What are you going to do? Season and won the title.
Yeah, do your best.
And he got to go.
In fact,
the game. He
do
missed
it again.
Games. He went to every practice.
It'll fire the kids up again. It'll piss the kids on the team off. It'll motivate them.
It will motivate them, too. Michigan versus the world. Yeah, it's a smart move.
It was the Penn State game, right? What was the first game? The second suspension was the Penn State game. They were so fired up. They ran for like 240 yards in that game.
Damn right.
Michigan players were talking smack to Bama during the game, too. Is that fair? You like that when they sacked him and stuff? They're like, is it cool? Like, you know what I mean? Like they after the game, they were like, are we good? Or like did we cheat? Right? And the Bama players are just sort of looking the other way and stuff. Because remember Saban, the Bama players said, yeah, we're not allowed to look at anything on our iPads because Michigan might hack into our iPads. It's like, yeah. We're hacking into iPads now. Like, yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh, man. All right.
Yeah, I thought it's a big picture, too. Like, of all the violations, it wasn't on the top of my list, the stuff that they were violating. It's just, I think they still very talented, well coached. It's just, I don't know, that was a whole lot of nothing.
Former Florida Mississippi State coach, he's on TV. He was asked about it. He goes, with all the things that are going on in college football, Michigan stealing signs is the least of them. That's what he said. Like, exactly right. He goes, this is really like, no, like, he kind of said they were just better at it than everyone. He kind of got to that. He goes, they were just good at it. Like, everyone does it. They were really good at it.
Get better. You're stealing signs, get better at it. Figure it out. Right? That's the whole thing. Everybody cheat, get better at it. Yep.
All right, so we got Joe Flacco and C.J. Stroud, speaking of Ohio State. So C.J. Stroud, rookie season. I like what people said. They said, man, it's easier to win the AFC South than it is the Big Ten. He couldn't win the Big Ten against Michigan.
That is true.
It always comes back to Michigan, Kim. Like Michigan fans were jerks. It always somehow can. People are like, see, he couldn't beat us, but he wins the AFC South.
You're going to milk this Michigan cow for like another year and just keep
well, not me, but I saw someone say that online. People are like, you know, really? I don't really mind Michigan winning, but it's going to be just nauseating for the next year, like hearing them. But
it's true.
What do you think of this game, Steve? I think the total's too light for an indoor game.
Yeah, he's no Cardale Jones, right? Third string wins the national title. So you just never know. It's amazing how the college pro thing doesn't translate. But this is an interesting rematch because they played on Christmas Eve. Of course, Cleveland won fairly easy. Now we got quarterback back. But Flacco, yeah, you know, I'd love to fade the public game. And I do think the public is leaning Cleveland. But everywhere I look this week, it's Joe Flacco, 11-3 against the spread. The best point spread record of any quarterback this weekend. And you can make an argument he's in the back half of his career now. So feel like maybe Houston's a live dog, and I believe home dogs are 8-3 against the spread the last 10 years in this wild card round also. So historically they have served you well. But I'll say this, guys, taking them from 2 up to 8 is a great teaser. I think it's probably the best teaser option of all 6 games.
Agreed.
Not scared at all about the rookie quarterback stuff? As far as rookie quarterbacks I don't disagree. Not winning?
Yeah. But they're at home. I like the fact they're at home, though. If this was at Cleveland, outdoor, cold weather, I'd be very concerned. So I think it'll make a big difference here.
All right, what do you think of the cold weather game Saturday night in Kansas City? Everybody's just writing the Dolphins off. Like I don't even know why they're showing up. Like, why bother showing up? It's too cold, they can't win.
2008 is the coldest game Miami's ever played, was at Kansas City, negative 20 degree, and they won outright 38-31, high-scoring outright win. So we'll see if it matters or not. There's not going to be any wind. Buffalo's the one we got to keep an eye on. It could be gust up to 50 miles an hour on Sunday. That could be the one that affects the scoring.
Wow. All right, hang on, Steve. We'll get you out on the other side, and let's get Mick Aussie in here. Let's roll.
Quarterback at quarterback. We're going to lay some juice. We're going to have some dog prices, and we're going to go right in the middle.
Because I don't know what they're doing. To me, they're in a complete rebuild, Kev. Go run. That's where overbackers on this 51.5 shot.
Right now, he's a little bit more over money, but it's hovering right around.
The winner of this game will be the division favorite.
I don't care if they win because all we care about is the money, baby, the money.
Pro Football Today. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
San Francisco minus 120 to win the NFC Championship. It's the Cowboys with the second best number. The Eagles at 7-1.
What the hell's the difference between the 6 and the 7 seed? I need my guys healthy here to make a playoff push. They took the bye week and still won the football game. You want to talk about 2 franchises going in the wrong direction? The Eagles. Ridiculous what they did this week.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's a lot of fun to do because you could kind of, place a season-long bet all at once and just wait it out. I've always found that interesting. But New York is one state where it's a little bit unclear.
You cannot bet on basically anything that requires a vote. So you're talking about an MVP award, a Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, anything where people at the end of the year have to vote.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
And I tell you what, there's 1,000,001 coaching vacancies right now. Brady Cannon is a candidate for the Vegas Raider job. Like there's so many jobs available right now. NFL teams are coming to the grid for our talent. So there's that many head coaching spots available right now. I'm going to submit my resume.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Nuggets rolling the Pels right now, 57-43. Kind of on pace for the over. We'll see what happens in the last 3 minutes of the first half here. But, man, this Denver team, when they want to and they show up, they just ball. All right, we're going to get Steve out of here. Steve, look at his Sunday slate. The Buffalo weather, it might be overrated a little bit. I might actually be contrarian and come in here with an over bet in this game. The sky is falling, blah, blah, blah. Our boy Tommy's in the area right now. It's not even snowing there right now. It's not even cold. It's colder in Vancouver, British Columbia, than it is in Buffalo right now. So people are this big, whatever, state of emergency, my ass. The world's gone soft, okay? So I'm not sure it's going to be, but the thing is, it is going to be windy. No, I'm just being real. That's the state of emergency right now in New York. Good for you. There's, like I said,
we still got 48 hours till the game starts, don't forget.
Yeah, go for a walk in the Bronx. I'll give you a state of emergency, all right? There's worse things in New York right now than the snow. But, so, listen, it could be 1 to 3 feet of snow over the weekend at some point. Doesn't mean it's going to happen during the game. But, anyways, I like the Bills to win this game. I like to tease them down to 2.5. And I love the Rams team. To me, that's the 7-point teaser right there. Buffalo Bills teased down, LA Rams teased up, buddy.
Totally agree with you. I think now that Bills line has dropped from 10 down to 9, 9.5 because of the weather concerns, that point teaser makes a lot of sense now because you get them down to 2.5 or less. And then you want to use, obviously, a 3-point line somewhere else to make the 7 points count. And I think the Lions-Rams game where the Rams are +3, they're a live dog, getting them up to +10 in what should be a tight game makes a lot of sense. And by the way, Gabe, the public is heavy on the under in both the Kansas City and Buffalo games. So that is contrarian. And you're probably getting about a touchdown of line value in both of those games. So I don't disagree with you. I think the over is worth a look in both of them.
I'll tell you what, bad weather can lead to turnovers, which leads to short fields. People always think bad weather.
Which way they're cutting and going, which way they're running.
Exactly. And I brought it up, too. When it's cold as hell, defensive backs don't like tackling some running back that's running 20 miles an hour at them. Like, it hurts. They're like, I'm not doing this. Like, they'll put their arm out. They'll do the push. I'll try to push them out of bounds. Thanks, Steve.
Later, Steve.
Thanks, boys. See you guys.